He walked through the long corridor of the royal vessel with steady steps that reflected both caution and pride. His name was Alan, a simple name for a man thrust into a task beyond the borders of his world. He had joined the interstellar guard force seeking purpose. He had expected danger, training, and a chance to prove himself. He had not expected to serve as the sole protector of a royal figure from a distant realm. He had not expected the quiet weight of duty that came from guarding someone who carried legacy and responsibility for an entire world. The princess bore the name Lyra, a name that resonated like a soft tone. Her world shone with bright forests, silver seas, and spires that rose like living stone. She was a diplomat, a scholar, and an heir in a line shaped by old tradition. She was also the first of her people to seek formal alliance with humans. The treaty required protection for her journey, and the council had chosen one human to fill the role. They had chosen Alan. He had asked why, but no one offered an answer. They had told him she would explain in time. For days he waited for her words while keeping a watchful guard. Their interactions had been polite yet distant. She spoke to him only when needed. He answered with respect. Still a strange bond grew, one made of glances, silence, and a sense of trust he could not explain. On the 12th day of travel, the ship drifted across a quiet region of space. Soft lights shimmered on the walls as Alan took his post outside her chamber. The air vibrated with the hum of the engines. The scent of metal and clean air surrounded him. Nothing seemed out of place. Yet he felt a faint pull from within the chamber, like a call waiting for a response. Then her voice reached him from behind the door. It held a calm tone and a sense of decision. She said that he could enter. He stepped inside and bowed his head out of respect. The chamber glowed with soft blue light that traced the curved walls. A table of transparent material stood near the center. Lyra stood beside it with her hands folded before her. Her posture held quiet confidence. Her gaze rested on him with a depth he had never seen. She told him that the time had come to speak clearly. She said that she had waited for the right moment. She said that she would reveal the real reason he had been chosen. Her voice was steady. Her eyes held no doubt. Then she spoke the words that shook him more than any battle drill. She said that she had selected him even before they sent him. The council had believed they made the choice, but she had shaped the decision long before the assignment began. Alan did not know what to say. The idea felt impossible. He had never met her before the assignment. They had come from distant worlds. He had been just another guard. Why would a princess choose him by name? Lyra stepped closer. She spoke of her people and their ancient tradition of foresight. Some individuals carried a sense that guided them toward certain paths. She had felt the presence of a human who would guard her with loyalty beyond duty. She had sensed courage shaped not by pride, but by conviction. She had seen a figure who walked through danger with resilience. She had followed that sense into the selection process. When she saw his record among the candidates, she said, she knew that he matched the guidance she followed. Alan listened in silence. He felt both humbled and unsettled. He wondered if it made sense to trust a decision based on intuition. He wondered if he had earned such trust. He wondered if the task carried meaning beyond protection. He wondered why the idea of her choosing him sparked both fear and hope. Lyra told him that intuition alone had not shaped her choice. She had studied his actions, even though he had not known it. She had read reports of his efforts during training missions. She had seen accounts of how he acted under pressure. She had learned that he had saved a team member during a hazardous drill, even though he could have stayed safe behind cover. She said that this kind of instinct mattered more than lineage, rank, or experience. Alan felt a warmth rise in his chest. He had never thought that such deeds would reach a princess. He had never thought they would shape a diplomatic mission. He tried to speak, but only managed to say that he would serve with all his strength. She smiled as if she already knew. Before he could speak further, the ship trembled. A loud vibration shook the chamber as lights flickered across the walls. Alan moved in front of her by reflex. His training took command. He told her to stay back while he checked the systems. Alarms echoed through the corridor outside. Red strips of light flashed as the emergency. Notices activated. The ship captain's voice announced that an unknown vessel approached with no identification. It moved with speed and intent. It was not a friendly signal. It demanded immediate defensive action. Alan told Lyra that he would escort her to the secure hold. She nodded and followed as he guided her through the corridor. The ship shook again. The metallic echo of impact rang through the frame. Something struck the outer hull. He tightened his pace. His mind focused on keeping her safe. They reached the hold where reinforced walls and energy locks offered the highest security. As the door closed behind them, the ship jolted once more. Alan prepared to move if needed. He faced the door. He listened to the rumble of distant conflict. Lyra remained calm. She said that the attack held no randomness. She believed it targeted her mission. She said that there were groups across the galaxy who feared alliances that could shift power. She believed they wanted to disrupt her diplomatic effort by forcing a crisis. Alan felt a spark of anger. He said that no threat would reach her as long as he stood guard. She stepped closer. She said that she trusted him. She said that this moment proved the truth of her choice. The ship shook again as the lights dimmed. The captain announced that enemy forces attempted to breach the lower deck. Alan checked the access panel and prepared his sidearm. Lyra stood behind him with her gaze steady. She said that she would remain calm and follow his lead. Minutes passed like hours. The sounds of conflict echoed through the ship. Alan maintained his guard without letting fear take him. He felt something shift inside him. He realized that protecting her was not just duty. It was purpose. It was a path shaped by both choice and fate. Then the captain's voice returned with a tone of relief. The attackers had withdrawn. Reinforcement ships approached. The danger had passed. Alan lowered his guard, but kept his position until the captain confirmed safety. When the door opened again, the corridor was clear. Crew members moved with urgency, but no longer with fear. The ship steadied itself as systems came back to normal. Lyra stepped beside Alan. She looked at him with calm gratitude. She said that his actions confirmed everything she believed. She said that she would trust him not only with her safety, but with the success of the mission itself. Alan felt a quiet pride. He bowed his head in respect. She placed a hand on his arm with gentle certainty. She said that from this point onward he would stand, not just as a guard, but as an essential ally in her. Effort dot in the quiet bays before the summit. Alan refined his duties with renewed focus, while Lyra studied the cultural histories of every delegation. Their shared preparation strengthened their coordination. Each moment of planning built another layer of trust that flowed into their mission and shaped their growing partnership with steady purpose for all future endeavors. The summit gathered leaders from multiple worlds. Alan stood near her as she delivered her speech. Her voice carried calm authority. Every word reached the room like a clear signal. She spoke of trust across difference. She spoke of courage that came from choosing allies who acted with conviction. She never mentioned his name, but he felt the truth of her message. The treaty passed with overwhelming support. Lyra's diplomacy had succeeded. Alan realized that she had done more than secure political agreement. She had built a bridge of trust between their worlds. After the summit, they returned to the ship. Lyra asked him to join her in the chamber where she had first revealed the truth. He entered with respectful calm. She stood in the same place as before. The blue light wrapped around her in a gentle glow. She said that the mission had succeeded because he acted with strength, clarity, and unwavering resolve. She said that she valued him not only as a guard, but as someone who walked beside her on a path that reshaped the future. She said that she hoped he would continue to stand with her in the many tasks yet to come. Alan felt a deep sense of meaning. He said that he would remain at her side as long as she wished. She smiled with quiet satisfaction. She said that she knew he would give that answer long before he spoke it. Their journey continued through new regions and new challenges. Together they forged a path that united distant worlds. Together they built a story that others would remember as a testament to what humans could achieve. Together they showed that trust, loyalty, and courage could shape the destiny of entire civilizations. Alan had begun as a guard. Lyra had begun as a princess. Through shared trials they became allies whose choices carried impact beyond measure. Their story grew not from prophecy, but from the quiet strength of decisions made with clarity and conviction. And so the mission continued with hope guiding every step.